Here at Cheapskate's Garage, we never waste any parts. We never waste any parts.
Well, here we go, let's get those wheels out on the road. It may get dusty, but that's the way she goes. We'll build some greasy old cars and drink our AGD. Hey, don't you know, it's partly built.
Alrighty, so today we're going to start fabbing up some mounts to slap these puppies in this truck. I think it'll fit. I think we can make it work. It'll be nice having power seats, hook the heat up, and I got a little trick I'm going to do with on the, this is the passenger seat because driver one is pulled off the rails right now because we're using it for measuring. But on the driver's seat on these, they have a foot pedal switch to move the pedals on you, which obviously this old clunker she ain't got. So what I'm going to do is I got a little trick for that one, and I'll show you guys when we get close to that. Once we get to that point. So for now, let's get cracking on getting these in.
It was my idea. Alright, I'm going to get started by taking this bottom frame off the seat, just so we can set it in the truck and get a rough idea and build our mounting tabs. Alright, so next I'm going to get these sensors pulled off because we don't need any of this crap. Alright, so we kind of changed our mind on what we're doing with the seats. We're not going to use that brace I pulled off, that mount. So I'm going to pull a little bit more off the bottom of the seat, and we're going to get it centered in the truck. But first I might just try running it back and forth to see how close it is to the back. So for that, I just need my little booster pack and some wire. So what we're going to do is I'm going to find a theoretical center line on the seat itself. And I'm just going to take my marker and make a mark. For what it matters, that the angle of the seat currently to the very front is roughly 27 inches. So we'll call that our theoretical center line. Normally you wouldn't draw on the seat, but you'll never see it there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the seat all the way one direction, measure it from my theoretical center line to my bolt hole, and then go the other way. All right. So much for that plan. Maybe the seat's no good. There's the power for the seat. Oh no. It all goes through this stupid module. That makes it a little more inconvenient. That'll be for your heated seat. Measure this without moving it, because I can see it only moves back about an inch more. So if I call this back all the way from my theoretical center line of my seat, my hole 4 inches. Then from the back of my seat as it sits, that hole needs to be 8.5 for the back wall. So, let's pull this apart. There. That's how Dodge holds that bolt in. A tiny little hex. No wonder they're popping out on me. Yeah. Let me just cut the head off this one and that one. There. There's your electric seat mount. Alright, so we got the floor kind of marked. We just sat the passenger side seat here and then verified it with the driver rails. So no turning back now. What is it?
You're drilling right in the fuel tank.
Oh. Stop drilling.
Is it,
No, it's a heat shield I'm going through.
no, it's the fuel tank strap.
Oh, so can you reach in there to get a nut on?
Yeah, you can get 2 fingers
Okay.
into the nut.
Okay, so apparently the fuel tank's right there. Good to know.
That's a good thing we stopped and looked.
So this, we could use this. It's already got a hole. Yeah, and it would come over and mount. The holes line up. We could make that work. Just split this off. It's just one little 7mm. And we could use one for each side. For like one for the left back and one for the right back. Here at Cheapskate's Garage, we never waste any parts. And we never waste any parts. I think we can make that work, Steven. Yeah, we'll make that work. So we actually have to shorten this up a little bit. I'm gonna go from that hole to the big hole there. Yep. So we'll put that from there to there. And the height is almost perfect. I just got to notch this side. That'll work. My light. I think it's on my... Oh, it's on my toolbox. That puts that right there. I need to notch just a little bit more. Okay, that's leveled out. Now, let me see your level. 0.6 degrees.
That'll be fine, because I know across that back piece it kind of gave you up to 0.5 off, so.
I'm just gonna cut this. Great. Boom. That'll work just dandy. .4 degrees. Do we want to just weld this to the floor?
Yeah, clean up all along the path and I'll just lay stitch welds.
Because we can just stitch it here, like right here and right here where it touches.
As long as it's easy to access to hold
No.
the seat on.
I'm just gonna, can we tack it in so I can adjust the angle this way and everything that I need?
Yeah, we'll do that once we get ready to weld it in, but we gotta figure out how to do
Well,
bolts.
I need it tacked so I can figure out the front mounts is all.
Gotcha. Yeah, clean it up and I'll quickly...
Because then I can put the bolts through it right now. We can tack the bolts in or something. Because this actually goes from underneath like that. It's actually getting up too high with that spacer. I actually need to put this through a little more.
Alrighty, so this bracket, this will be the rear mount for the seat rails for the SRT seats. So we're just welding some nuts on here so we don't have to deal with wrenches and all that fun jazz because we can't get under there once it's all said and done. So, finish tacking these in, set this whole ensemble in the truck and get some other things measured up.
After Steven worked so hard to paint that and clean up that floor, now he's just grinding the paint off.
I know, right?
Alright, now we've got the rails sitting in here. I had a hole drilled in the floor over there, so I know exactly where that bolt has to go. And that side of the rail is 11.5 from the back wall. 11.5 from the indented section. That should be centered. Now I'll check it versus the floor here. Not even close. Six inches. Boom, right there. Don't touch it, just weld it.
Okay, figuring out the ground would be fun. I guess I can just touch the ground to the friggin' body. Good enough.
Just get your tacks on anyway. Now, we need to level it front to back and then build our front stands.
Oh God. Like that's flat there.
Well, the thing is your seat can angle the ass up and down.
Yeah, honestly, I
So
can
if it's not quite
compensate.
straight, as long as it's straight from side to side.
As long as both sides are equal.
So we'll put your level across the front.
That's it, there's what we're doing. Okay. So, you like it right there? I think you're fine. Okay, I'll throw some more stitches on it. I gotta set this welder up so it's not filling out as much heat. need to be so crazy for this. Three 3/8 long for one. Three and a half for the other.
All right, so you guys have seen us do enough cutting and grinding and welding. These are little pedestals we made. This one's just freshly welded. I got to do some cleanup work on it yet. And we got to put 2 holes in that, 1 hole in this. These are the standoffs for the seat bracket. So I'll quick get these done and then we'll throw them in and see what they look like. All right, Steven. So how's the seat now that it's it's loose. It's bolted in, but it's loose.
That's a little...
Like the rear bolts aren't tightened and the front ones aren't tightened, but
it's in and it should work. It might be a little pestering around with the pedals so I can get my knees to sit a little nicer. But other than that, it's in.
It can't be much different than the bench seat was.
Yeah, the only thing is it might just sit a bit tall.
Well, the bench seat might have sat back a little farther because the seat wasn't so tall.
Yeah.
Because the back of the cab comes out like 1.5 inches right at the bottom of the window.
Yeah. No, I think the biggest thing for this is just the added height we got going on, but whatever. Because that's what's shoving my knee into the steering wheel.
All right, let's pop the seat out and we'll paint up the mounts.
Sicky.
Well done.
There we go. Let some of that paint run and dry where it wants to. The seat brackets are pretty much done.
All right, there you go. The passenger seat is mounted on the driver's side. We've got the mount built for the passenger side as well. Now we've got it hooked up to my power pack. Steven.
And everything will nicely operate. I would go all the way back, but I think it might bind up on a bolt.
We don't have it fully bolted in right now because we're going to pull it back out and start on wiring.
I slid all the way back. It just touches the back wall, which isn't too bad. My seating position is actually decent here. It actually baffles me. It worked out as good as it did.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Catch us next week. I'm not even sure what we're going to do for a video next week. Depends on what we get finished. But you know the deal. Like if you want, comment please, and man, if you subscribe, that'd be nice too. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Pro driving position.
Take it easy, guys.